Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading. My voice is a little hoarse this afternoon. It's been an all singing afternoon, and I may well not be around tomorrow afternoon, so if there is a silence from me tomorrow afternoon, it's because of all singing and dancing. I do apologise in advance, but anyway, getting on with the reading, you can see that I have the Venetian Tarot on the tarot table again today. It's been quite useful recently, this little tarot deck. It's a mini tarot deck. It's very good at looking at a Machiavellian kind of intrigue in the halls of power, the corridors of power, and it tells very interesting stories. It's a great storytelling deck. If you just want to do free-flowing kind of tarot readings, it's a great deck to use. I'm using it today because of the story that Angela Levin broke in her book on Camilla. The story that allegedly Prince Andrew lobbied the Queen heavily to oust Prince Charles, then Prince Charles, from the as heir, and he was conspiring with Princess Diana. It was in the days of the divorce and Camilla Gate and all the rest of that, and everybody hated Charles, and Andrew was the hero. He was the war hero. He was everything else. Handsome, very popular at that time, and they conspired, according to this account. They conspired, lobbied the Queen, get rid of Charles, install Andrew as the regent. William was then a teenager. Andrew would have all the power and all the glory, and Diana would be the power behind the throne. She would be whispering in William's ear. That's the story. The part that's left out that's interesting to me, but I'm not going to read on it, there's a missing part in the story. Begs the question, what about the Queen herself? Was she expected to stand down as well, to abdicate, so that this plan could come to fruition? Because of course she reigned for another about 30 years, and if the plan had gone according to plan, like now, well, William's not a teenager, so Andrew would not be regent, and well, we know what happened to Diana. Very sad what happened to Diana. But anyway, a Cain and Abel story. And I've been thinking, did Taylor Caldwell write a Cain and Abel book? I'm sure she did, but I can't find it. Anyway, so that's what I've been wasting my time looking at before I came here to do this reading with the Venetian Tarot. Let's have a shuffle quickly. I'm going to do a 7-card reading. I'm going to look and see what the deal was with Andrew and Diana, whether Andrew did go and lobby the Queen, favourite son. We always hear that story, favourite son. Mummy, give me the power. How did she feel, the Queen? By all accounts, she said no, but how did she feel? And did William know? How did William feel? And did Charles know? How did Charles feel? How did it affect the relationship between Charles and Andrew? Can't have gone down very well. Must still rankle. And the impact, just a bit of a wild card at the end, impact on Harry. Is this one of the reasons why Harry seems to side with the Yorks? So I want to know the impact on Harry and his relationship with Prince Andrew and the Yorks. It's got something to do with it, something that Mummy was whispering in ear about. Your father is unfit to be king, and Andrew is the good one, the worthy one, and he should be king and regent and blah blah. So we're going to see what impact it's had on Harry, just because he's all in the news at the moment and has been for a long time now. So 7-card reading, Venetian Tarot, and just have a look and see what we can glean from the cards about the story. And a reminder, of course, all opinion, just a tarot reading for entertainment purposes. Disclaimer in the box below. It's Mercury retrograde. You can hear I'm struggling with this, and also it's load shedding, so things are, as usual, a bit traumatic in my life. But what's come out in the underlying energy? The Emperor. That's the king of all kings. This is about who gets to be top dog in the royal family. And there should almost be a song about that, a sort of Gilbert and Sullivan song. And I have to say, I have been dabbling at writing songs about this, just because, why not? So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, underlying energy, very clear. We're on the money here with this reading. Ooh. And we got the Strength card in reverse as the next card down at the bottom of the deck. That is not acting in your best, not mastering your base instincts, shall we just say, when Strength is in the reverse. Sort of rather venal behavior. So situation with Andrew and Diana. What was the dynamic between them? 3 of Swords. We're dealing with people who are feeling, well, not people who are feeling betrayed. Yes, she was feeling betrayed. She was devastated. Her heart had been broken. It's the card of heartache and betrayal, the 3 of Swords. It might have come from her, actually. This idea, going to Andrew and saying, look, Charles is a piece of blah, blah, blah. And he's broken my heart, he's been treacherous, he's broken vows, marriage vows and all the rest of it. And so this is my plan. But it is about heartache. It is also a card of betrayal. There's a lot of treachery going on here. If Charles betrayed Diana, Diana was very keen to return the favour and stab him in the heart as well. And possibly a jealous sibling also quite eager to sharpen his sword and get busy with some stabbing. It's very unpleasant, it's very Shakespearean, but of course it's fascinating, and that's why so many of us are gripped and mesmerized by this tale. Let's see, did Andrew go to the Queen and lobby for this, for himself to be regent and for Charles to be ousted? And we get the King of Swords. It's the King of Swords. Yes. I want to be king, forceful, very shrewd, very clear, very military man, the King of Swords, very powerful, very clear about his vision of what he wanted. And look at me, how nice I would be in all the garb, and how very good I would be at doing this job. So much better than that useless brother of mine, King of Swords. I think so. I think so. I do think he went and harangued. Swords are words. I'd written things as well, but they're words, communication, ideas. So yeah, I'm gone a bit quiet there because I'm wondering how it would have felt. We're going to find out in the next card. How did it feel for the Queen? How did she feel about this? How did she react? And 10 of Cups, family. It's all about family. You can't do this in a family. And she was all about family, ultimately, even though she's been accused very recently of being a terrible mother, a terrible grandmother, a terrible great-grandmother, whatever else. But this is about family. This is about happiness. This is about us all pulling together as a family. And you don't do that in a family. You don't go around stabbing each other in the back and conspiring against each other. This is the royal family. This is very public, and we have to maintain an illusion of togetherness even if it's not true, because the 10 of Cups is a card of illusion. Very often readers read it that way, and I tend to as well, of just we maintain pretenses. I often get this card with Harry and Meghan. It all looks so great on the surface. Scratch the surface and you get horror and mayhem beneath. But we have got to maintain the illusion that we are the royal family and everything is great. We're the archetypal family. We cannot be seen to be scrapping like this and conspiring against each other. So she was pretty adamant about it. But she was coming at it from quite an interesting angle of appearances. And I think she felt strongly in herself that this was a terrible idea, and you have to be loyal and you have to do the right thing, Cups. But also it's got to look good. It's got to look good on the surface, because this is how the royal family has stayed the royal family for so long. How did William feel about it? Did he know? How did he feel about, wow, the tower. The tower. This was devastating for him. Can you imagine? Teenage boy, he was probably a preteen at this stage, going through all that awkwardness that boys go through at that age. Very tricky, very, very tricky time. Mother in tears, having affairs, having to push tissues under the door while mother's sobbing, hearing things that no sensitive young boy should have to hear about mother and father and lovers and all the rest of it. And then to discover that his world was going to be rocked. Devastating. Did he want to be king as a 10, 11, 12, whatever year old, 13-year-old? I'm sure he didn't want to be king. Life was difficult enough for him at that stage without, oh no, you're going to be king now, and Andrew's going to tell you what to do, and I'm going to be whispering in your ear, and your father is out. And I'm sure whatever their relationship, the ups and downs that they've gone through, he loved his father, still loves his father. It was devastating for him. It was horrific. And I can see why the Yorks are a bit on the outs with William. And really it was devastating for him. How did Charles feel about it? Did he know? How did he feel about it? And we get the Hermit. It's also an interesting card because it made him do a lot of soul searching. Am I ready for this job? Am I the right man? Should I really be king one day? A lot of doubt. The Hermit goes and reflects, and you can see all these people. I love this depiction of the Hermit because all these people are hanging off that bridge and watching. So even though the Hermit is about privacy and retreat, they're all watching him. Everyone's watching him as he looks at himself, as he goes through this process of self-examination, reflection and doubt, retreat, prayer, meditation, whatever spiritual modality he was called to follow. And he is a man who seems to embrace all faiths. It was a very difficult time for him, a time of isolation, alienation, self-doubt, self-criticism. Very, very difficult. We've got major arcana here, and they're both, look at them, how the light is kind of mirrored in the two cards. The Tower is something that, I often forget to say because we're in these harrowing times with the royals, but it is a moment of enlightenment. Kind of like the Hanged Man. When that lightning bolt strikes, you are enlightened. Your world falls apart. It's a dark night of the soul. You lose a lot of things that you believed and things that made life comfortable and easy and predictable and safe. It all disappears. But you have a moment of clarity. You see the truth of the situation if the Tower is doing its job. I mean, it's not just random cruelty on the part of the universe. It's meant. And Prince William had a wake-up call very early in his life. He had a wake-up call about loyalty. And it's always said about him, and let's throw in allegedly, he tests people. And recently seems to have tested possibly Harry and Meghan, and particularly Meghan, about who leaks, who runs to the press, who tells tales, who can't be trusted. He tests people. This is why. He was taught to do this. He learnt this. Don't trust people, even your nearest and dearest. Closest in your family, your uncle. You can't trust your uncle. Even your mother has possibly not behaved in the best way because of this heartache and this betrayal and this pain that she's experienced has probably clouded her judgment. So William went through a very difficult Tower moment, and Prince Charles then, as he was, went through a period of self-doubt and reflection and withdrawal. And it would also have been a very important teaching experience for him because the Hermit finds his way. He finds his true north. That's what he does. And this was very important for both of them in their development, their soul journey as well. How did it impact Charles and Andrew's relationship? What did it have to do with it? Ace of Pentacles. That's a very powerfully positive card. It started both of them on journeys. Very positive journeys. Obviously, Andrew didn't get his way. The Queen said no, not at all. It set Andrew off on a journey. It set Andrew off on a journey of money, new paths, new horizons, new ventures, We know he was trade envoy. He got involved in some deals that weren't so great. As trade envoy, we know he was friends with that American whose name I don't want to mention right now in this channel. It set him off on a journey. We've got boats, we've got sea, we've got distant towers and cities, journeying, traveling, looking at how he could find new ways of being influential and important. We've got Emperor energy here. It's about who's important, who's top dog, whose male ego is going to be satisfied here, who's going to be planning things and running the show. That's what the Emperor does, is the boss. And so Andrew had to go off and find other distant horizons, shall we say. And Charles then also had to decide what he was going to do. And yes, I'm going to be king. I'm on this path and on this journey. It's a very long journey. It took him decades to reach his goal. That is what the Ace of Pentacles is about. But yeah, I'm going to commit to this journey. I'm going to commit to being king. He might have had his doubts up until then. Sincerely doubted whether this was a path he wanted to follow, but after all of this went down, he was committed to it. He was determined. He knew that this is what he was born to do, and he must embrace it, and he must accept it, and he must do the work, and he must be committed to the path, to the journey. So it sent both of them on very different journeys. Harry, what impact did it have on Harry and his relationship with the Yorks, with Andrew, also with Sarah, with the cousins? What did this all have to do with Harry? Knight of Swords. Energy that's coming up for Harry at the moment. Knight of Swords. Pretty vicious energy. Cutthroat energy, the Knight of Swords. Ruthless, sharp. Can be a bit aggressive. Combative, bitter maybe, ruthless, swift acting. It put them together. It put them together in this team of it's just difficult energy. It's hostile energy, the Knight of Swords. I always say this about this card. Don't like it. Don't like the energy that comes off that Knight of Swords. It's my own personal tick that I have reading this card. It does have its uses sometimes. You need someone to come in and act quickly, do something decisive in a situation. Your Knight of Swords is going to ride in and do it. Someone with a clear head, someone who doesn't have feelings, someone who doesn't care about other people's feelings. They get the job done. Cold, hard. It put them together. Of course, the Yorks went on to lose their RPOs. The girls did. They lost a lot along the way. And Harry, I think, looked at the situation and thought, well, it's going to happen to me as well. I'm going to be iced out like Andrew's been iced out. I'm going to have no role and my life's going to be difficult. I'm going to have to be ruthless and calculating and take my chances when they come. And boy, did he take his chance when it arrived at wherever that dinner date was that was set up for them. So, Ho House. That's the reading. My opinion, of course, and or just for entertainment purposes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.